Hello my dear children. So today I am here with you all to discuss the mind map for chapter 2 nutrition in animals for students of class 7. So in this chapter we have studied the number of processes which are taking place in human beings, as well as we discussed about the ruminants. So now with the help of mind map we are going to just revise this whole chapter. So in this chapter we started with the nutrition in animals. We all are aware about the process of nutrition, that is nutrition in animals. So first of all we discuss the steps, different steps which are involved in this. What were these steps? Let us discuss one by one. First one. First we discussed about ingestion. Ingestion means the intake of food. What we can say? Taking food inside. That process is we call ingestion. Right? Now after ingestion, the second was, we all know that after taking in food, what will happen? Breaking down of complex food to form simpler one. That is breaking down of complex food into simple one. That process is known as digestion. That we also. Okay. Then we have third one. Third one is absorption of simple food. That process we call absorption. Right? After digestion we have absorption. In absorption of simple soluble digested food. Simple soluble digested food. That is absorption. And in absorption we know that how does absorption take place? How does this occur? This occurs with the help of finger-like projections present in the small intestine, that is villi, right? And villi, these are surrounded by, these villi are covered by, or what we can say, these are villi are surrounded by some vessels that are known as capillaries. Right? These are surrounded by capillaries. And what is the function of capillaries? These carry digested food to different organs. So what they carry? And they carry digested food to different organs. So what we call it, we have a specific name for this process that we call assimilation. Right? So assimilation is the process, or what we can say, this is also a part of this nutrition step. What does it mean? It means that utilization of digested food to get energy. Utilization of digested food to get energy. So this is also assimilation. So both are joining to the same thing, right? Then last but not least, we have the removal of the food, undigested food which is not required. That process is called egestion, and egestion occur through anus, right? So I am repeating once again. So first of all, the ingestion, intake of food, then the complex food will be broken down into the simpler one, that is digestion. Then the simple soluble digested food is called absorption. It will be digested with the help of villi, right? Villi are surrounded by capillaries. And what is the function of capillaries? They carry digested food to the different organs, and that process is also known as assimilation. On the other hand, assimilation is also the process of utilization of digested food to get energy. Then last but not the least, we have egestion. That means throwing out of the undigested food which is not required. That we call egestion. Now if I talk about capillaries, here capillaries, we know that they carry digested food to different organs, that is known as assimilation, right? Okay, now we can go further. If I talk about ingestion, because we know that ingestion may be different, may vary from animals to animals, right? It is not same for all the animals. Like humans, we have hand and mouth, right? Amoeba, paramecium, they have the paramecium has the cilia. Amoeba is having the pseudopodia. So they all are having the different body parts, right, to use this process, digestion. So if I talk about digestion, so this is different, I can mention here, different in different organisms, ingestion. Okay, then comes the digestion. In digestion, it's very complicated system that we call human digestive system. So in human digestive system, we are having different organs which are involved in it. So that we are going to discuss one by one. First, if we talk about human digestive system, the first thing that comes to our mind, that is buccal cavity. So buccal cavity, we know that intake of food through the buccal cavity, its mouth is our buccal cavity, right? So what is there present in the buccal cavity? In buccal cavity, what does it consist of? So I can mention here, it consists of, what we can say, teeth, right? We have already discussed about the different 4 types of teeth: molar, premolar, canines and incisal, which are present, right? Apart from this, we have tongue, muscular organ, then the salivary glands. Dear children, you know, when we keep the food, we just bite it, grind it with the help of teeth. We keep the food on the platform, that muscular organ, that is tongue, and then the salivary gland is there, which releases the saliva, right, which softens the food, mastens the food, which helps it to go further, right? So now, after this, we have another component. Let me go from there, that we call esophagus. Right? So in esophagus, we know that through peristalsis movement, the food enters there. So esophagus, what is the function of esophagus? It carries food to stomach. After this, carries food to stomach. Right. Now I am just erasing little bit portion so that it will be easy for us to write. Buccal cavity also I am erasing. So esophagus, there is a process peristalsis, right? Peristalsis is just the movement of, we can say, pushing down of food by walls in a wave-like action. This is peristalsis. Pushing down food just like wave. That process is known as peristalsis, right? Then after this, the food enters in the stomach, right? In stomach, we know that there are three major things. One is HCl present, one is pepsin, another is mucus. So HCl, we know that HCl kills microbes. Right? And function of pepsin, we know that converts protein into action on proteins, and mucus protect the inner lining of the stomach from the HCl, from the acid. Right? Okay. Now after this, small intestine, from the food, the stomach, the food will enter to the small intestine. So in small intestine, we know that secretes intestinal juices, right? In the small intestine. So secretions of intestinal juices takes place in the small intestine. So what they do? Secretions of intestinal juices to convert. What they do? Right? We are saying that the intestinal juices are there. So what they convert? What they convert? Carbohydrate into glucose. They convert carbohydrate into glucose and proteins into amino acids. Proteins into amino acids. Right? Carbohydrates into glucose, protein into amino acid, then fats into fatty acids. Fats into fatty acids and glycerol. This is what happens in the small intestine. Then apart from this, so we are discussing right now the human digestive system. So then human digestive system के अंदर then we will have large intestine, right? In large intestine we know that there are two things present. One is colon, right? It absorbs water. Very important, right? And another is rectum, that stores feces, right? Waste, what we can say, waste it stored. Okay, apart from this, we have some associate glands. Which are associated with this human digestive system. What are these? So one, I am saying that this is pancreas, right? And another is liver. These are the two glands which are associated with this. So pancreas releases pancreatic juices. right? So what is the function of pancreatic juices? We can say that pancreatic juices जो है, they are helping here. Like all these functions, they are performing. On the other hand, if I talk about bile juice, liver separate bile juice, and this bile juice, what function does it perform? We know that it converts this one, the third one, right? Fats into fatty acids. Fats into fatty acids. Right? So this is all about the digestive system. Let me repeat again. First was in digestive system, we were talking about human digestive system, buccal cavity. Buccal cavity consists of teeth, tongue and salivary glands. Then esophagus. Esophagus peristalsis movements helps the food to go inside the stomach. In stomach we are having pepsin, mucus and hydrochloric acid. Then small intestine. In small intestine we are having the intestinal juices, which functions are converting carbohydrate into glucose, protein into amino acids, fats into fatty acids and glycerol. Then after this small intestine we have the large intestine. In large intestine, colon which absorb water, rectum which stores the feces, and then apart from this we are having the associative glands which are attached to it. One is pancreas, another is liver. Pancreas releases pancreatic juices, which function is to convert carbohydrate into glucose. All these three functions they can perform. And liver bile juice, which convert fats into fatty acids and glycerol, right? So my dear children, I hope this mind map will definitely going to help you out in the revision of the chapter. Thank you so much.